So welcome again. In this lesson, we're going to program our navigation and segue between the two view controllers. So I'm going to go to my main storyboard, and in here, I'm going to say, let's go from this view controller to here and present it modally. And this one is called, this particular segue is called to Segue ID. I usually like to end them with ID. So save, and I'm going to go to my list view controller. And remember, that happens navigating from this view to the items view happens every time we click on one of the items of one of the members of our lists. So for that, I'm going to have to add a new delegate method from table view, and that's a very easy one. I'm gonna say give me void table view did select row at index path. Perfect. And if that happened, do something very easy, that is self perform segue with identifier. That's the identifier. And this is an interesting thing. We need to know who is the sender, simply because based on that we have to do something. The entity that has the information about that is the index path. So I'm going to say actually index path is the sender. And we will see how this comes into play real soon. So now I've got that. I can go to that place. Now let's see how that's going to work for me. And it takes us there. Great. Maybe this wasn't the best transition. So I'm going to go to my main storyboard, select my segue, and change the transition to just the cross dissolve. And now that we are here, I'm actually going to go ahead and say from this button, we actually go back. So present modally. So there's a segue to the other side as well. Let's see. So now my button is stuck for some reason. Now when I hit sample list, they go in there, I go back, party, and we go back. And I forgot to change the type of segue here as well. So that transition is again cross dissolve. So we now can go back and forth between our lists and our items. And this is a good place to pause and we move on to our next lesson. If you want to see what we have done, one more time, table view did select row at index path, perform segue with identifier, so on and so forth.